There are many hidden wonders throughout the Highlands. Located on the west coast of Scotland, there is a small island called Easdale. Less than 10 hectares in size and home to just 60 residents, makes Easdale the smallest inhabited island in the Inner Hebrides. Dougal MacLeod has been living on the island for the past year, having made the move from Perthshire.
Every morning you wake up, you look out my window, or you sit at the front door and you think, God, I live here. You know, and you're spoiled. You really are spoiled.
Easdale has 7 water-filled quarries that are hardly visible above the sea level. During a night in the 18th century, a great storm drove a tidal wave onto the island and flooded all of the slate quarries. A lack of quality pump systems meant clearing the water out would have been very difficult. And although nobody was killed, the island's economy was destroyed overnight.
And the quarries, they're deep. They're really deep. They're in their 80s and 90 metres deep, which they quarried right up until the big storm, 1881 I think it was. And that sort of ceased production then.
The weather now is closing in, I'm heading for a storm, where the waves will lash the scudding clouds and legends will be born. Wisdom will brush my flying cloak and dance between the trees, where the very force of nature brings this island to its knees.
In the following years, the Great War of 1914 conscripted able-bodied men. Dutch clay started to replace slate. Production levels never reached the same scale again. From the 17th to the 19th centuries, slate was used for roofing all over the world, and Easdale was at the heart of this booming trade. Being a slate island, it comes as no surprise that the original cottages were built with the same slate, quarried here hundreds of years ago. The scale of exports was astounding, with 9 million slates annually exported around the globe. During this time, between 400 and 500 people inhabited the island, compared with the 60 of today. One of the more prominent buildings Easdale slate was used on is the Armady Castle in Lorne. This 16th century building can be found a short distance from the island, overlooking Seal Sound. Before the slate was fitted onto this roof, it's cut into thin segments and shaped. When the pieces overlap, this creates a weatherproof tight seal. Once this grand building was completed, the workers must have felt pride in their craftsmanship. As Flora continues to grow, the signs of quarrying are becoming less obvious, covering marks of an industrial era. The result is a strong presence of wildlife. Cormorants hold their wings out to dry in the sun. Hedge sparrows dust groom to clean their feathers. Otters and pups are occasionally spotted leaving their holts hidden away in the rocks. Oyster catchers can be seen nesting in scrapes in the ground or searching for crustaceans to eat.
Way back in the day, they would blast them with black powder every half hour. It's incredible that it looks like this. But now it's totally silent now. And we have the tourists, of course, but they don't make a lot of noise. But yeah, it is really a really special place.
Slate formed here millions of years ago as a result of heated pressure changes and lava activity. This lava activity accounts for the vantage point on Easdale, known as Dunmore. The quarries reached a depth of 80 metres below sea level. When working at this depth, building walls around the quarry was a way of keeping the sea out whilst cutting the slate. Men would have been completely exposed to the elements had they not built these walled shelters.
When we moved in, we were in a few months, and then we started exploring the island for real, finding stuff that was incredible, really. And then you really read the history of it, and you look at the stuff that's left from that era. And you find it everywhere. It could be a 12-inch nail, it could be anything, and there's stuff everywhere that gets kicked up every other day. On the ground here, there's a piece of narrow gauge railway, and there's a track line here with the same narrow gauge. So a puffer with carts would come in here, pick up slate, and then deliver it to process across the other side of the island. Some of the dates here is 1906, 1900, 1887.
The lands surrounding Easdale form naturally sheltered coves. These peninsulars make a series of protective barriers, ideally positioned for seals looking for a retreat. With a supply of haddock and ling in the sea, seals can hunt, warm up their blubber, give birth to their pups, and molt. The way seals get onto the rocks is by throwing their weight around. When in the sea, they perform graceful maneuvers in a playful and domineering fashion. As a result of the quarrying, Easdale's community faces an ongoing battle with the harbour area. To get rid of the waste rock from quarrying, the solution was to dump waste in the sea. Today, tidal currents have moved the rock around the island to block the entrance to Easdale Harbour. If the entrance is not dredged once a year, access would become extremely limited. This small piece of the natural world is worth preserving as part of Scotland's industrial heritage. A rare place where you can observe nature's secrets and absorb centuries of history.